there, Grateful Gang. My name is Lauren Blanchard-Zaleski. Welcome to Gratefully Living the Chronic Life, where I come to each Thursday. The special time today, we are at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time because we have a very special guest coming to us from the UK today. Her name is Dr. Gratitude, or Dr. Farhana Sadek. So she's from the UK, and if we did it at my regular 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, she'd be talking, walking in her sleep. So she's kind enough to be on with us tonight. So we are doing a special time, and it's going to be completely worth it because she's just amazing. I cannot wait to introduce her to you guys. It's exciting to have an actual medical doctor who believes in gratitude. Not that we need medical proof, but it sure is validating for those of us that work it. So speaking of those of us that work it, I run a group on Facebook called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. Hello to all of our AOG people who are watching from in the group. If you are watching from in the group, we are an interactive broadcast, and we'd love to have questions and comments from the audience. If you want your name to show up on the screen, you need to give StreamYard your permission to use your name and likeness, because we are a private group. So make sure you give them permission by logging in here. If you're watching from YouTube or public Facebook page, you don't have to do any of that. And my website, if you want to find out more about me and the group, my website is Gratitude Addict. Now, I don't know if Arlene Hildred is watching, but just a couple minutes ago, she was wishing me good luck on a good broadcast. And I was telling her, do you know how when you're watching live broadcasts and somebody's on and they're like so shamelessly promoting a book in the background? There's my book for the first time. My book comes out November 30th. This is the 5-minute gratitude journal for teen boys. And I just got my first shipment from the publisher. So I am now one of those people who is shamelessly plugging her book in the background. But boy, I am so proud of this thing. A gratitude journal for teen boys is certainly not the first book I thought I would have out, or any gratitude book for that matter, but I am so grateful to be a part of this project. I worked very hard on it, and it would make me so happy to get this book in the hands of teens who can use gratitude, and I think that's pretty much every teen. So if you go on Amazon, the book is now available for pre-sale November 30th, and if you came to me, offered to write a review on the book, if you're one of the 40 that is getting a free book, you should have got an email yesterday, I believe. So thank you for that. What else? Let me show you what's coming on next week, and then we'll get our guest on because I don't want to take any more of her time. We've got, it's November. So in the US, that is the National Month of Gratitude because it is our Thanksgiving. So we have a month full of grateful guests. It's also a short month because of Thanksgiving. So next week, we have author Gina Hamaday on. She has written this amazingly wonderful book called I Want to Thank You. In fact, our journaling club, the Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain Journaling Club, is doing a challenge based on this. She did a year long of writing thank you notes to various people in her life. To me, it kind of reminds me of that book, Julie and Julia, where that blogger did a recipe from Julia Child's cookbook every day for the year. It's a beautiful story of coming to terms with all sorts of things in her past, present, and future. So Gina's going to be on with us next week. And then who do we have after that? After that, we have another UK guest on coming. Dr. Thisha Sirwa is coming back with us. Last time she talked to us about gratitude and chronic illness. This time she has a new book out about procrastination, perfectionism, and people with chronic illness. So she's going to be coming back the week right before Thanksgiving. And then after that, we have Gabby Siegel is going to be on December 2nd. She's going to be talking to us about the healing powers of music. Mary Beth Sammons, she has this beautiful book called Living Life as a Thank You. I just booked with her yesterday. She's absolutely amazing, writer from the Chicago Tribune, and has this beautiful book of stories of the human spirit and how gratitude helps them, called Living Life as a Thank You. And then December 16th, Gratitude in Our Life's Purpose with Dr. Kathy Zhang of the Purpose Filter podcast. She's a palliative care doctor and talks to people at the end of their life. So she's an interesting guest. So basically we've got so many good things coming between now and the end of the year. I'm super excited. All right, what am I doing? I told Dr. Gratitude that I usually screw up something in here. All right, let's take this off. All right, so let us get Dr. Gratitude on because she is so amazing and I'm so excited to have her on. Dr. Farhana Sadek, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much, and for accommodating the time difference as well. I really appreciate it. So thanks to you and your viewers.
Totally worth it to have you on. You first came on my radar several months ago, how long? Well, you have an app, which we will talk about, but I think when the app first came out, and you've got beautiful social media posts, and I'm like, who is this woman? She calls herself Dr. Gratitude. I have to get to know her. And I think I stalked you for a while.
Oh, bless you.
So let's see. I see we have a comment here, and then we'll see. Oops, somebody said hello. Have to sign in. Hello, Facebook user. Thank you for being here. So, Dr. Gratitude, I want to hear, well, first of all, how did you get started in medicine and helping people? And then I want to talk all about gratitude.
Sure, of course. So I think, when someone asks you, what did you want to be when you were growing up? What's your dream job? I think I went through a few phases. So my first job was wanting to be a police lady.
Right?
And that was when I was about 3, and I sort of grew out of that. And then I got to a stage sort of in my teenage years, and I decided that I was either going to be a neurosurgeon, or I was going to be a guitarist in the greatest band since the Beatles.
Similar.
Throwing it out there, yeah, being ambitious with it. And then sort of got to kind of medical school, and realised I could only play about 6 chords on the guitar. So that dream had failed. And throughout medical school, I started to realise that actually, from the placements I did in surgery, that actually the hospital environment wasn't necessarily for me. And so I decided that I wanted to end up doing a job, which actually, interestingly, my father carried out the same role when I was growing up. So I'm a generalist, what we call a GP, general practitioner in the UK. And I think there was something about growing up, and I remember it was always around Christmas time, I'd see the number of presents that my dad would bring home from his patients. And I thought, wow, I want some of that. And I think that was somewhere ingrained in me, to be able to connect with people in a way that you make such a difference to their lives, that they're giving you nice little gifts at Christmas.
That's beautiful. Speaking as somebody who's lived with a chronic illness for over 20 years, it seems so, when you can find that special doctor, that special specialist, they're like everything to you. So that's really, that just gave me chills with you saying that, for sure.
So that's amazing. So the landscape's changed a bit. So we don't get showered with gifts like people used to in the 80s. But nevertheless, it's not about the gifts at all. It's about, certainly, I think I always knew I wanted to do something where it's cheesy, but I wanted to make a difference. And I feel like that is what life's about, leaving some sort of legacy where you've made the world or people around you just a little bit better. So I think that's always been in me.
Yeah, I don't think that's cheesy at all, but that probably comes as no surprise to you. Helping people, life is so hard, isn't it? It's just so difficult, and nobody ever promised it would be easy, but it just gets more difficult. And I was telling you before we came on the air, all it takes for me is somebody to say, my family's noticed a difference in me. Sure. Joining the group or whatever. And that's like, you must hear this stuff all the time. I mean, it's got to be so satisfying.
It's wonderful when you can genuinely connect with people and help them on their journey, because like you say, life can be difficult, and we're all on the journey together. So I think it's about, how can we be in each other's lives and kind of enrich each other's lives.
All right. So you're a general practitioner. Where in England are you?
I am in London, so yeah. Oh. I'm a London, big city girl. That's me.
Is that where you're originally from?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you went to helping people. Then how did gratitude get to be a part of your life?
Sure. So,
well, I mean, in a medical standpoint, I suppose.
Absolutely. So I think I remember seeing something that. I remember watching, maybe it was an Oprah episode years ago where she was talking about gratitude practice. And I remember that kind of sowed a little bit of a seed. And then I didn't really, kind of investigate beyond that. Fast forward a few years, we get to sort of the start of the pandemic. And I've at this point had years of kind of seeing patients come to me with stress, low mood, anxiety, and realizing year upon year that these problems were just getting worse for people, and more people were coming to consult with me and my colleagues about these issues. And we were giving them sort of, solutions or advice. And the feedback I was noticing over the years was people coming back to me saying, I understand I need to go to the gym regularly, but you know what, I don't have that hour 3 times a week, or I don't have the money to go to the gym, etc. And there were other solutions, like there's loads of fantastic wellbeing apps out there. And I was recommending sort of, mindfulness apps to people. I think you guys all know which ones I mean. And people were coming back to me saying, thank you for, advising me to do this, but actually I tried it a few times and I found it a bit strange sitting in silence. I don't think this is for me. This wasn't the answer. So it was this kind of disparity between increasing numbers of people who need something to help them with their well-being, and then the kind of things we were kind of offering them weren't really hitting the mark. So I was kind of thinking, that there's got to be something out there that can make an impactful difference, but, that doesn't really have any barriers to people using it. It is not time consuming. It is easy to do. It's not expensive. So that kind of was in the back of my mind. And then the pandemic hit. And as you can potentially imagine, working in healthcare at the start of this pandemic was challenging to say the least. And it obviously still is very challenging. And so me and my colleagues were finding ourselves under increasing amounts of stress and pressure. And I was looking at sort of wellbeing solutions for myself at this time. And I discovered gratitude practice again. And remembering, hang on, Oprah was talking about this a few years back. Let's have.
She knows a little bit about what she's talking about.
She does, yeah. She's a force of nature. And so, what really surprised me when I started to read up about gratitude is the fact that there's so much scientific research behind it. This is an evidence-based well-being practice. Yeah. And so I started to practice gratitude in this time myself. I started to think of things that I was grateful for at the end of a stressful clinic, the end of my day. And within 2 weeks, I noticed myself sleeping better.
Really?
Feeling more positive and optimistic about this crazy situation we were all finding ourselves in with this pandemic. And I thought, this is amazing. I need to start telling people about this. And so the next step was to recommend it to family, to friends. They all came back with really positive feedback as well. And then beyond that, I thought, right, I'm going to tell my patients about this. So, then kind of try to put this out there to people. And again, was getting this overwhelmingly sort of positive feedback on how it was making an actual difference to people who stuck with it. Not everyone.
What were you telling them, right? Like 3 things down that you're grateful for each day, or what were you at the time before your app?
Absolutely. So I think the kind of the method that I sort of refined for myself that I felt really worked was thinking of 1 to 3 things that you feel grateful for, but also thinking about why you feel grateful for them. So not just listing things, which can have a positive effect, but I think there is something really, really valuable about going through that cognitive process in your mind. Why do I feel grateful for these things? And I think that's when you really start to feel the amazing benefits of gratitude practice.
Agreed.
So
Dr. Fusha Sirwa, who's going to be back on with us from the UK in 2 weeks, she does medical. I think we were talking about it first time.
Yeah, you mentioned,
she talked about exactly what you just said, how it's much more powerful when you get into the why, when you share it with somebody else. Definitely. Or yourself, right?
Lots of evidence showing that sharing it obviously is great for both parties involved. So that's fantastic. I just knew that this was powerful stuff. I needed to get it out to the masses. And that kind of took me down this path of starting my own business and creating my app as well. So
yeah, when I pull up the app, I was telling oh, now my mouse isn't working. I was telling Dr. Gratitude that, is it up? No. We'll do. I was hoping to get it on my phone and be able to show my phone screen, but I couldn't get that to work. Not a surprise. So this is Gratitube.app is the website. And tell us, I've been using it for a while. I really, really like this app a lot. It's available on iPhone only at the moment, right?
At the moment, yeah.
And so you record yourself. You record yourself, which originally I was like, oh, okay, but tell us why. Why do we record ourselves, and what's the benefit?
So yeah, the app Gratitube, essentially it's a video gratitude journal for you. So you can make it as personal as you want it to be, and that tends to be the way that most people use it. And as you say, yeah, you can quite simply record yourself every day. So it's video journaling. So 1 to 3 things that you feel grateful for and why. Get that down, record it. But at the same time, the beauty of the app and the beauty of your iPhone is the fact that you can flip that camera around. It doesn't have to be you filming yourself. You can be filming a loved one. You can be filming a lovely walk through the park that you're feeling grateful for in that moment. Be filming your dinner, whatever it is. You're capturing that kind of real life moment and kind of keeping that encapsulated. And I think video is the medium that we felt was really, really important as part of this process of gratitude practice, because there's evidence to show that by re-watching videos or even looking at pictures, so anything visual, the way our brains work, that is more impactful for reinforcing positivity around our memories than simply rereading sort of a written journal entry.
Is that right?
Yeah. So that, I mean, and to be honest, it makes a lot of sense once we sort of discover that thing. Because you get the sounds, you get the kind of, obviously the core visual of the moment, but it helps invoke those kind of, evoke those memories in a much more kind of impactful way. And so you have these treasured moments that are there for you. And I think the thing with video, I mean, a lot of people in the pandemic, everyone's used to the Zoom calls, we're more and more, that is a medium that is kind of now seamlessly, part of our lives.
Right.
And with your phone, it's the only thing that you're guaranteed to have with you when you're probably even on the toilet. It's the thing that's going to be attached to you. And so by having the app, you can obviously capture those moments as you go along. For a lot of people, journaling has been this process where they kind of set aside a specific amount of time or set time in the day, in the morning, before they go to bed. And that's absolutely fine. If that's how people want to practice, that's brilliant. But I think this gives people the flexibility that you're not carrying around your physical journal all the time. Yeah. You've got your phone in your pockets. If a moment takes you and you're feeling that positivity, you're feeling grateful in that moment, you can just capture it.
Yep. And it's done really well. I wish I could show the screen, but and you unlock, like, the more you do, you unlock levels and all of that. You've got, I'm only a Gratitube enthusiast. I need 22 more entries to level up. It's really done well. Beautiful colors, and it's easy to use. And like you said, I'll remember. I love gratitude journaling. Don't get me wrong. I love it. We have a group about it. But if I've forgotten by the end of the day to do it, I'm not going to jump out of bed and be like, oh, I've got to go gratitude journal. I'll just do it tomorrow. But with the phone there, I probably would do it. It's done really well. So we've got my Maureen. Welcome.
Thank you, Maureen.
Hello from British Columbia. So glad to see you. Hi, Dr. Gratitude and Grateful Chick. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Fran. Thanks for being here. Hope she needs an iPhone.
Yes.
I have an Android. Will it be available there soon?
We hope so. So we're always looking to improve the app, develop it further. So we hopefully within the next 6 months, we hope to have an Android app. And please join our mailing list, because if you sign up, we'll let you know as soon as that's out.
Yeah, let me give your email address again. It's Gratitube dot. What did I tell you? I kicked myself out of my own broadcast.
Yeah, for a second, Laura.
Gratitube.app. And you can get on the mailing list there. Now, you said you have a partner in this, right?
I do, partner in crime. So my co-founder is called Liam, and he's also a GP as well. So we're both working part-time in medicine and then part-time on the business, on the app. So yeah, it's great going through this. It's all new to me, the world of business, as of a year ago. So to have somebody going through kind of, you know, the journey with me is really invaluable. And yeah, he's brilliant as well. So
now,
yeah.
did you know you had kind of something in common with him, that he liked gratitude as well? Or is he more like the tech side? How do you even go about developing an app? I wouldn't even
know. Gosh, so neither of us are technical. But we did have somebody who was on board last year, helped us to develop the app. But unfortunately, it's been a roller coaster ride for the last 12 months of my life. And one of the things that happened was, unfortunately, our developer, due to the pandemic, you know, there was some sort of financial difficulties, and he ended up having to take sort of a permanent role elsewhere. So he kind of left unexpectedly, which was tricky for us.
Yeah, I bet.
But we've managed to obviously see it through to this stage. And with Liam, I think so. When I mentioned that during the pandemic, work was stressful, him and I actually, at the end of a stressful clinic, used to kind of talk about things that we had felt grateful for during our workday to each other. So we were kind of practicing gratitude with each other. And I think he also started to notice an improvement in his well-being, and it just felt like a lovely thing to do, and made that time so much easier for us. And we both just fell in love with it, to be honest, at the same time. So yeah.
So when did you roll out the app? Right when the pandemic started?
No, so it's not been out for that long, actually, just because the whole process takes so long. And then obviously our developer then, you know, leaving sort of part way through, that slowed everything down a little bit. So it's only been out, I think, for about 2 months now.
Oh, really, really new. I must have stalked you like the day you came out or something.
So it's all fresh and new still for us, but we're happy to be able to, you know, to recommend a tool to people, and we truly believe it's probably the easiest way to practice gratitude, and that's what it's about, making it easy for people, because we've all got lots on our plates, you know, we're busy people, you know, we want to make this as kind of, you know, compatible with people's lives as possible, so that people form that magical habit, and then they start to get all the wonderful benefits of the practice for themselves.
Yeah, very easy. It's visually very breathtaking. It's beautiful. Hard to believe it's still that new, because it's really done well. And even somebody who kicks herself off the air can use this app. So you don't have to be a technological genius for it. So so it's absolutely fantastic. So what are you hoping to, well, what's been the feedback so far in just the past 2 months? How are you getting the word out, and how's the feedback been?
Sure. So yeah, it's been really, really positive by and large. Of course, like I said, we're always looking to improve the app and make it, you know, tailored for our sort of core users, you know, people who really need this in their lives. So we're always open to feedback. But by and large, people have said that, yeah, it is easy to use. My 6-year-old niece uses it, loves it. And we've had a bit of feedback in terms of, you know, other people's kids are using this. So there's definitely something in there about there not being any barriers to being able to benefit from this app and enjoy this app, hopefully. So we love that age is not a factor in people using it, and your kind of how tech savvy you are, like you mentioned, it doesn't matter, because it is so simple to use, and that's what we were going for. So I think the feedback by and large has been really encouraging for us, and that motivates us to obviously, you know, keep doing what we're doing, and keep trying to improve things, and provide the best tools we can for everybody in society to try and you know, have a well-being boost. I think that's what it's all about. I think we all need it. So
I love that we're teaching kids more about gratitude these days as well. That mental health is really getting more talked about, destigmatized, because we need that. You know, as a world, we are suffering. All of us are suffering, and we have to teach, in my humble opinion, we need to teach our kids that it's okay to share our feelings, and it's good. You know, in Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, we're starting to get more male friendly. But the past 7 years, we've been at around 98% female, and I never understood why that was. But just recently, we're getting a really good influx of men, which makes me very happy.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations on your book. So I think that really just does highlight, like, it is very important to, you know, I think there's research to show that there's no age too early to start practicing gratitude, that studies have shown it can be really impactful for kids in kind of from kindergarten onwards. So, and I think, you know, as a doctor, we are seeing more sort of children and adolescents coming in struggling with, you know, potentially sort of mental health issues and things like that. So I think as a society, I think we all need to recognise that, yes, we need to be encouraging our children, definitely, I think, to be seeking support when they need it, to, you know, be able to use and kind of, you know, understand tools that are out there that might be helpful as well.
So you were saying you were at the start of the pandemic, when things were really difficult for you, you started incorporating more gratitude into your life. You were sleeping better. And, you know, I know a lot of the health benefits, but why don't you share as a physician, what are some of the other actual health benefits you can get from gratitude?
Yeah, I mean, it's so vast. So I'll say, I'm sure all your, you know, viewers will know that gratitude practice, it's proven to make us happier. So kind of my sort of gratitude guru out there is Professor Robert Emmons, who I think, you know, it's fair to say is the world's leading scientist on gratitude practice. And, you know, he did this wonderful study where, you know, he took 3 groups of people and got them to write in a journal once a week for 10 weeks. First group were asked to write about things that had gone well that week, that they had felt grateful for. Second group were asked to write about 5 things that hadn't gone well. And the third group were just kind of, you know, given neutral instructions. And that study showed that the people who were practicing gratitude just once a week were found to be 25% happier than the other participants. And that blew my mind, because I just thought, that's once a week. What is it going to do for your happiness levels if you're practicing gratitude more regularly than that, you know, say every day? So that's a real thing, I think, because I think a lot of people in the last year, it's a no-brainer. We've all struggled with our mood at times. And I think anything that's going to make us feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more positive is welcomed. So that's one lovely benefit. So yeah, I talked about sleep. For me, sleep was an issue a year ago. I sleep so much better when I'm practicing my gratitude, but research shows again that gratitude practice can improve your sleep quality by up to 25%. And also people who practice gratitude regularly tend to sleep about half an hour more than people who don't, which is really interesting. So if you want more sleep and better sleep, then gratitude practice really, you know, it is for you. And then there's kind of things like, you know, the American Heart Association, they recommend gratitude practice as a way to potentially decrease your blood pressure. And there are studies to show it can decrease your blood pressure by up to 15%, which as a doctor is pretty remarkable.
That's significant, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think for me, I think my favorite word for the last 12 months, probably, apart from gratitude, has been resilience. There's never been a time, I think, you know, in the 21st century where resilience is needed by everybody. And gratitude practice, you know, the studies show it definitely makes us more mentally resilient. This is something I've firsthand experienced with my, you know, situation in the pandemic. But, you know, studies to show, they've looked at, you know, people going to university and their first term at university, when there's, you know, as you can appreciate, so many life changes. You know, you might be moving to a new city, to a new country, you're leaving your family, you're leaving your friends, you know, for the first time, you're not kind of spoon-fed your education. You need to learn how to kind of, you know, manage your classes and things yourself. You need to build a new social network. So really kind of difficult time where you know, resilience is kind of a key thing to kind of get you through that period. And the studies have shown that people who practice gratitude in their first term at university, less likely to be stressed. They tend to have a bigger social network at that point. They're less likely to be depressed. So really it can help you when there's big life changes going on. And
that was my guest last week, Linda Graham, who's a resilience expert. She talked about resilience and gratitude just last week. Yeah,
telling you all what you know, and I'm sure you guys know that there was a study on Vietnam war veterans, and the ones who practice gratitude were less likely to have post-traumatic stress disorder.
I did not know that.
As a medic, that is, you know, fascinating.
That's huge
stuff. So many benefits. I mean, I can go on if you want me to.
It's so exciting to me. I've been doing this for a while. And I think I was telling you before we came on, it's not that I need medical proof, but it sure is validating. It sure is. It is so exciting to me to hear somebody with a medical background promoting gratitude. because, you know, there's so much talk about toxic positivity lately and, and all of that. And, you know, to hear it from your knowledge, wisdom, and experience is really validating.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I agree that the comment about we've had there are misconceptions, I think, around gratitude practice. And I think one of those, you're right. It's just that, oh, if you practice gratitude, you know, positive all the time, and it's you know, not true at all. Right? There's no well-being practice out there, unfortunately, that's going to turn a really, really difficult situation and kind of remove the difficulty entirely. But I think, you know, we mentioned, I say gratitude practice is a superpower that you can have. And it helps you to kind of glean, you know, these silver linings from really tough situations that you could find yourself in. It doesn't remove the tough situation, but it helps you, you know, see some rays of light there, which makes you feel a little bit better. You know, so I think it's, you know, that's definitely something I've experienced, you know, going through a difficult time and turning to gratitude practice, I think really has just kind of kept my head above water. So, yeah.
I mean, I can honestly say, in the last 20 years I've lived with chronic pain, gratitude is the single most effective treatment I have had, apart from any, you know, more than any medication. It really is, because I can't control my situation, but I can control how I respond to that situation. And so by practicing gratitude, it rewires your brain, right? You can really think of things differently, reframe them. Kim Flanagan says, I'm really trying to focus on gratitude instead of illness. Good job, Kim.
Amazing.
Do you work with many people with, well, you're a GP, you must have a ton of people with chronic pain.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, chronic pain, chronic illnesses with other sort of symptoms as well. And, you know, I think it's really kind of my understanding and seeing what I've seen of people's lives. It's those, you know, chronic pain can infiltrate. And I think a lot of people don't appreciate this. It's more than just the physical, you know, it can infiltrate so many aspects of your life potentially. And that's why something like gratitude, which can have so many kind of, you know, vast benefits, you know, from if you're in pain, you don't sleep well sometimes, you know, actually practice can help you with your sleep. If you're in pain, then it will, you know, it potentially can affect your mood and make you feel down. So that kind of mood boost that it can bring can be really helpful. Again, it's, you know, resilience going through any kind of difficult, you know, long-term illness as well is welcomed. So I think there is a lot to be said for, I think, you know, and I'm not here saying gratitude practice is, you know, I believe it is the best medicine out there in terms of wellbeing practice, but it's not to say that other wellbeing practices aren't fantastic and don't offer sort of, you know, benefits. But I think the gratitude practice, I see it very much as it is the easiest one to form into a habit. And like you say, it does change fundamentally the way you think. I don't think of it as a wellbeing tool. I think of it as a fundamental shift in the way that your brain works. And there's, you know, scientific research to show that, you know, looking at scans of brains, that it can actually change, you know, the way the brain processes the world around us for the better. So yeah, I think that it certainly can have a role for everybody in any situation. But I think certainly with chronic illness and chronic pain, you know, it is something that I would advise people to try and see if it does, you know, provide some benefit for them.
Yeah, I know a good group they can join too, called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. An auditory tactile learner who carries her journal. Great. Oh, Julie Boyer is here. Do you know Julie from Wake Up with Gratitude podcast?
No, unfortunately, but lovely.
Oh, well, I will introduce you to.
Kind of virtually one step removed to meet you.
Hey, Julie, thanks for tuning in. Heidi, can I share the video with others, such as by Facebook or text?
So you absolutely can. There is a share function. So as I said at the start, you can use the app how you want. It could be a very personal journey and only you can look at your videos, and if that's how you want. But you can share to your social media, can share by text message. And as you mentioned, Lauren, before, like, you know, sort of sharing gratitude, there's research to show that not only do you benefit from sharing that gratitude, but so does the recipient, and that helps improve their well-being as well. And I think, again, that's one of the lovely things about gratitude practice compared to other well-being practices. I think it's something that makes it sort of top dog in my eyes. I can't think of any other well-being practice where just by practicing something yourself, someone else just benefits in a similar fashion. Like
right. I love mindfulness, but you can't really share that unless
really
you're in the
share
same
it when
room
you're
with
being
it, right?
mindful yourself. Yeah. So
Right.
so yes, to answer the question, you can share the videos, and I think, you know, a lot of people are saying, we've got some feedback saying, you know, when it's somebody's birthday, people are recording a gratitude
Good
message for that
idea.
person and then sharing that directly to them. So yeah, so that is something that the
Good idea. Or a family group, you know, have your family all that's a great, that'd be something great to do, starting with your family over the holidays. Hey, Sherry Nolan's here. Hey, Sherry.
Hi.
Julie's on Android too.
I'm sorry. As soon as possible.
Here's an iPhone user.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, Heidi. Yeah, we got you, Heidi. I meant to video. I'm behind on the comments. I apologize, guys.
No problem.
Now that I have a gratitude partner, nearly every single day we message each other, I am grateful for. Fantastic.
That's lovely.
Fantastic. We have Dr. Gratitude with us. Her app is called Gratitube App. You can also find her on Instagram at Gratitube. Oh, that dot got in there again. How did that happen? There's no dot. Hang on, let me change that. I got rid of thought I got rid of the dot. It's just Gratitube UK.
All one word. Thank you.
There it is, Gratitube UK. Let me show the app again if I can get it up on the screen. I'll try not to kick myself off again. It's this actually isn't the app, it's the website for the app, but it's visually stunning, really, really well done. So you record yourself or something else that you're grateful for. Each day you can re-look at them, you can share them. There she is, and there's your partner, Liam, right?
Yes, that's Liam.
So what has been the feedback from the medical community, your friends in the medical field?
So I think I've got all the other sort of medical colleagues that I work for to download the app and start using it, and I think it's in. I guess the feedback is similar to what you would expect for recommending kind of any wellbeing app. You know, I think people are aware in the medical community that, you know, like I said, it's an evidence-based practice. So it's not some sort of quackery that we're kind of, you know, trying to bring to the fore. So I think people recognize the fact that there is science behind it. And I think people are understanding that all the research is showing that the benefits are on a par with mindfulness and meditation. And we've been recommending those mindfulness and meditation apps to patients now for, you know, it's been a big trend and a big push to do that for the last few years. So I think people, you know, colleagues seem to be kind of open-minded, you know, that this could be another tool that we can recommend to people, and that can be quite helpful. So overall, yeah, I think it's been really kind of, you know, positive stuff. Everyone's been really lovely and supportive, which has really helped.
So you're not getting the real sciencey people saying, "Oh, there's no real proof." I mean, there's legitimate studies and proof now, so you can just.
Of course, I mean, there might be people thinking that, but they're not saying it to my face.
Your family must be so proud of you for doing this app. I mean, well, not only are you a doctor, but now you've got this wellness app for the entire world. It's pretty amazing.
I mean, to be honest, like I think I couldn't have done any of this and we wouldn't have got to the stage of getting the app out without the support of all of our loved ones. So we're both very lucky in that regard, because I'm sure we've been probably, you know, stressful creatures to be around at times on this journey. So yeah, I'm very grateful for them and lucky to have them.
Where would you like to see it going in the future? Where would you like the app to go, and where do you see yourself going from here?
So I think with the app, I think, you know, we want to, like I say, keep developing it, keep improving it. And my aim is for, you know, hopefully millions of people around the world to be using this app as a tool for them to, you know, to help them to practice their gratitude, and therefore that going to bed at night knowing that millions of people are getting the well-being benefits of this practice, and that we're kind of helping to facilitate that. So I think the ambition is there to, you know, really just get it out to the masses, to be honest. And I think for us as a business, I think, you know, we, you know, as well as the app, I think we're looking to, you know, so we kind of do a little bit of guest speaking, and we're kind of just looking to kind of get the word out there, the education out there about the practice. And I kind of, you know, I guess for myself, you know, I have Oprah on my vision board. You know, I think one day, you know, I think I would love for people to kind of, when they think of gratitude practice, to think, oh, who's that doctor there that's always talking about it, raving and ranting about it.
You can mention me to Oprah when you meet her.
I mean, I've said this before. If I'm on Oprah, I'm inviting everybody I know.
Good.
So you'll be there, Lauren. Don't worry about it. But I think,
there was 1 or 2 other apps that I've seen, and they're fine. Yours really just grabbed me. It's just done really well, and it's different, it's unique, and it makes sense, and it's easy. I think that's what everybody wants is, we want to, well, I'm speaking for myself, but for myself, I would love to keep developing myself, learning more about myself so I can live a happy, joyful, and intentional life. And gratitude is what does that for me. And if any way I can incorporate gratitude into my life is a win, and so your app really accomplishes that. It's done just so beautifully. I wish you all the best with it.
Thank you so much. I mean, I think just one thing I probably didn't mention about the app is because I sort of talked about people having busy lives. The app, the videos are designed to be short. So they're kind of 60-second videos. And so, at the bare kind of minimum, I'd say, for anyone wanting to try out the app is just use it for 1 minute a day and then see how you feel in about 2 to 3 weeks' time. Because that seems to be, all our kind of research so far has shown that people using the app just for a minute a day, about 85% of them after 3 weeks are noticing positive, impacts on their well-being. So, you can record for longer. You can record multiple videos if you want to kind of, capture more gratitude than that in your day. But it is something that I think, the part of the ease of it is that we don't want you sitting there for hours on your phone. We want you to be living your life, but here's something you can do to give your well-being that little, boost every day.
Right. And it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like something you have to do. It's something you want to do. Right. And that's what your app accomplishes. Let me show one more time here. Gratitube app for iPhone only, hopefully not for much longer, but and it's free. There is no, I don't think it is free, right? I'm not making that up.
Of course, that's really important to us. We don't want any barriers, stopping people practicing gratitude and getting those benefits. So that was a key thing for us.
Great idea of the birthday gratitude gift. I agree. I'm so happy to hear it will be available to us at a later date. I'm getting on that mailing list. Go get them.
You're welcome.
Oh, somebody's making fun of my book in the background. I had to. I'm shameless. Oh, I beat you to it. It is free, Fran. The app is absolutely free. So, gosh, thank you so much for being here. I wish I could have you on for 3 more hours if I could. But it's been such a pleasure having you on. I would love for you to come back any time.
Thank you, Lauren. I would love to come back. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank Liam for us as well. Congratulations on the app. Let me give the address one more time. It's Gratitube app. And on Instagram, it is Gratitube UK, one word. Dr. Farhana Sadek, thank you so much for being here.
So much, Lauren. Appreciate it.
Happy National Gratitude Month. And thank you all who tuned in live. Thank you for taking part in today. I will see you all next week.
Brilliant.
Peace and love, gang. Bye.
Bye.